Hey guys, in the last lesson that I did on the diminished scale, I showed you how to get a really nice altered dominant sound out of the diminished scale using the half-whole diminished scale. And I showed you my fingering that I like, and I showed you the theory behind it and why patterns work so well, and all that great stuff. So if you don't know the diminished scale yet, or you're not quite sure of how it works or how to use it, go back to that video. It'll explain everything. And then once you have some level of comfort with the scale and you kind of know the fingering and you know how to kind of work through some patterns in it, come back to this video and check this out. So I'm just going to show you a cool little trick. This one, I bet, sit down for 20 minutes and you'll be going on this one because it's not that hard. Once you know the diminished scale, at least, it's not that hard. I'm going to show you how to play some motives up and down the neck. So if you remember, I only need one shape of the diminished scale to cover the neck because it repeats in minor thirds. So if I play my scale shape here, move my hand up a minor third, play the same scale shape, move it up a minor third, another minor third, and forever, it's all the same scale shape, so just one fingering. So I capitalize on that by playing motives that go up in minor thirds. So let's say I play some melody in the first one, and I move my hand up a minor third. I can play it again. And I'm still in the same scale. I've just moved up to a higher scale degree. And then I do it again. And I can go all the way up the neck, and I'm staying in that diminished scale without even realizing it. So to demonstrate that over some chords, I'm going to do it over a 2-5-1 in C. I'm going to do it 4 bars of D minor, 4 bars of G, and then C. So I'm going to play something over the D minor chord, just D Dorian. So you heard my diminished pattern was this thing, which is easy enough, right? Moving your hand up in minor thirds is really not that hard. I think you guys will have it pretty quick. The hard part is actually what happens after the diminished chord when you have to resolve it back to C. So usually, we have our positions that we're comfortable with, and it's like 2-5-1 in C here. And we know that we're resolving to this C shape. But what happens when I am skipping around the neck is whenever the chord changes, I have to know my next chord wherever my hand is, or else it's going to be awkward. I'm going to have to jump to some position that I know. So in that case, I moved all the way up to the 12th fret here. So I knew that my C major chord was this thing, this C major. But had I ended up somewhere else, had I ended up here, I would have had to know that C looks like that. Or here, I would have had to know, So you got to learn your inversions of whatever key you're working on. Like here, I'm learning C major. Got to know them so well that your hand can be running around the neck playing something else, and you're already visualizing where you're going. Like you're kind of, it's almost like you're playing chess and you're thinking one step ahead. Like, yeah, I'm heading this direction and I see where I'm going. C is going to look like that there. And then you get here and you kind of make this split-second decision. The one I just made was really easy because I voice-led myself right into the third, which was E natural. But I'll give you guys an example where it's not so clear-cut, where I could go, where I have a couple options. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to play my D minor, straight up a D Dorian scale. And then I'm going to play my diminished pattern. I've ended up on a B flat. So I have two options of how to get to C major. I can either go up a half step to the B natural, which is the major 7th, or I can go down a half step to A natural, which is the 13th. And either one is cool, so I can just pick. In reality, I'll just kind of on the fly, my hand will fall into one of them without really thinking, probably. Like my ear will just guide me into one of them. But really, if you slow it down, I'm making a choice there. I have two places I could go. And I knew that I had two choices so quickly because I know those shapes so well that wherever my hand ends up, it just kind of slips into the next shape. So let me play that one for you. Yeah, I changed that one a little bit. Sorry about that. Sometimes stuff happens. But basically, play something in the C major just to keep the line going. You don't have to play a melody in C major, but I like to. I feel like it helps with my phrasing to free things up. If I know that I can continue my line, then I have a choice to either do it or not. So those are two examples going up the neck, and then I gave you an example going down the neck. And just to expand, give you guys some ideas, you don't always have to play the exact same thing in each position. You can vary it slightly, like I might have played, going back and forth between two ideas, or just completely changing them. Or you don't have to go straight up. You can go up one and then back down, or skip one, skip around however you want. Basically, the world completely opens up. There's infinite ideas, but I think a great way to start this is to just develop control by doing the exact same thing up and down the neck. And resolving it. That's a key thing. Learn how to resolve it. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn on a backing track and play a bunch of ideas off the top of my head. The backing track is just going to be D minor, G7 to C major, 2, 5, 1, and C, and you'll hear me doing all of these patterns over the dominant chord, the G. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to hear more videos, you get a little notification when they come out, and comment on them. Send me an email if you want to set up your first free Skype lesson, and I will see you guys next time.